Ty West, we've just seen your brand new film, The Innkeepers. It's a classic old school haunted hotel film. I think it's probably the best haunted hotel film I've seen since The Shining.
Might be the only haunted hotel film we've seen
I
since
was-
Shining.
I
I'll
was
still
actually-
take it though. I'll take the compliment.
I was trying to think of any haunted hotel film since The Shining. I can't think of any.
I don't know if there is one. There must be some, but I can't think of them either.
But the haunted house film is back. We've recently seen films like Paranormal Activity, Insidious, The Silent House. But to me, your film beats those by a long way.
Oh, thank you.
It's-
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think consciously of that being a trend, but it does seem to be happening that way. I think it's basically just, maybe it's just filmmakers kind of moving away from what was before all the sort of, I guess, torture porn, as they like to call it. Maybe it's just a subconscious move away from all that.
Yeah, it's a very sweet, creepy, funny film. Can you tell me where you got the idea for it from?
Well, the original idea came from the fact that when we made my previous film, The House of the Devil, we stayed at the hotel, the Yankee Peddler that is the main character essentially in the film. And all this weird stuff would happen. So I didn't think to make a movie of it. I just thought these are weird stories that were happening when we were making House of the Devil, and they're just goofy anecdotes. But then the opportunity came to make another film, a small film, and I thought, well, what if we just made that? What if we made the movie about everything that happened to us when we were making House of the Devil? So that's where it initially started from, and we went back to the real place, so everything in the film is accurate. And I wanted to make something that was very different from House of the Devil and had a lot of humor in it, and was sort of like a, it's funny, we used to joke and call it like a hard PG. You know, it doesn't have a lot of violence. It's a very kind of supernatural suspense film, and that's what we were going for.
You've succeeded.
Oh, good.
Sarah Paxton as Claire in the lead. I fell in love with her after about 10 minutes. Her character is a little bit insecure, kooky, sweet, funny, warm. How did you find Sarah?
Well, she came in kind of through the normal channels of people auditioning, and her agent suggested her. I wasn't familiar with her, but she was acting in a film with a friend of mine, and I called my friend. My friend had nothing but great things to say about her, which to me is kind of the first and foremost thing. Is if people I know that I like her, that means we'd get along. So then she got the script. She called me. She really liked it. She understood the sense of humor of it, which was very hard for a lot of people. And she just really kind of understood the movie. And when I met her, I kind of saw the kind of quirkiness to her that hadn't been done in films before, and I thought I could exploit this properly. So, I was happy to meet her, happy to cast her, and then she really elevated everything to another level. She's fantastic.
Yeah, and her co-star Pat Healy as her colleague Luke. They're both working behind the counter of this inn that's about to close down. There's a definite chemistry between those two. Was that sort of natural from day one?
I think that going back to what I said about people that I get along with, because they didn't meet until they got on set. So it could have been a disaster. But I felt like I'd known Pat for a while. Pat understood the movie. We get along well. Sarah understood the movie. I had just met her, but it was going well. I felt like, well, they should get along. And it really was kind of effortless. They kind of picked up right from the get-go, and it made it very easy. It was one of the easier films that I've made. I mean, it's hard to use the word easy, but from an acting standpoint, I was very fortunate.
Yeah, and there's a definite chemistry there on screen. They do come across as being, very close friends who know each other quite well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to them. I mean, I think that was in the script, but not to the degree that they bring it to life.
And of course, Kenan McGillis is also in the film, who's been away from the screen for some years now, and she came back this year in Stakeland, which was also produced by the producer of this film, Larry Fessenden. Again, how did you get her involved?
Well, she came because of Stakeland is why she came up. But, I thought this was going to be the easiest role to cast because I thought it's such a great role for an older woman, and they're all going to jump at it. But what I didn't realize is that older actresses don't have a sense of humor about being older actresses, and they were all quite offended that I would even consider them for the role. And so I think Larry and Peter, the producers, brought up Kelly because they had done Stakeland, and we got on Skype because she was in London doing a play, and the first thing she said was like, I don't care about that, it's fine. And so she had this good self-deprecating sense of humor about herself, and she understood the movie, and she kind of understood that kind of the jab she was taking at celebrity or at actresses and whatnot, and she wasn't offended by it. So the fact that she was comfortable with all that the same way that Pat and Sarah were comfortable with what they were doing just made it easy. And that's, I think 85% of directing is casting, and if you get the right people, then they elevate it the way they should.
Right, and there's a moment in the film where you refer to A Christmas Carol. I'm told that holds quite a bit of meaning for you.
A little bit. Well, that's actually Larry's cameo too. So he plays Scrooge. But yeah, I mean, I think I wanted to make a very classic ghost story and a very classic narrative structure, and this weird kind of I mean, the idea of A Christmas Carol and the three ghosts and the, you know, what your future could be and things like that are themes that are in the film. And once I started coming up with a film that had those themes, I thought, like, well, you know, there's something great about the Christmas Carol. There's something great about the Charles Dickens aesthetic of, you know, not wealthy people and comments on that and society. And there's a lot of that, because to me, the tagline for the movie is a ghost story for the minimum wage, and it's very much about these people that have these minimum wage jobs, and they're not digging ditches. It could be a lot worse, but it's still their lives, and they still complain about it, and they still have to deal with the struggles of that as if it's as important as anyone who's really struggling with it. And I find that kind of humorous, because you don't quite have the right to complain because there's people who have much worse than you, but what else are you going to do? And I think it's funny that those people would end up in a horror film because they don't belong in there.
All right. So this film is a classic ghost story. Your previous film was about demons. You going to stay in the horror genre, and if so, what next?
I don't know. You know, I've made 5 horror movies in 6 years, so we're running out of I don't want to repeat myself, you know. I'm running out of options. I just wrote a werewolf movie because that's something different. I don't know if it will happen. And then I have a science fiction film that's a science fiction horror film that's most likely going to happen next. So. Yeah, I think I'm in the outskirts of it. I'm not running away from it, but like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, so I don't want to come back next year with another ghost film. I don't want to come back with another satanic film. You know, I want to kind of keep progressing and do something different.
All right. And your next film, you'll definitely bring it to FrightFest.
Oh, absolutely. I would come back here in a heartbeat.
All right. Have you been having a good weekend?
It's been fantastic, yeah. No, it always is. This is my 3rd FrightFest, and it's, you know, the favorite international film festival by far.
Thomas, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.